that we all had a good weekend. None of us had a stressed out one. All right, and maybe I'll start with you, Hassan Umar. And the question is, we had all this hype, and we expected the president of the U.S. to come. He came, and your take on generally the whole weekend from Friday to Sunday. Did it meet your expectations?
One thing we have to acknowledge, which I increasingly saw was the reality, is that Obama evokes a certain emotion in Kenya. I think,
is it in Kenya or worldwide?
I think, but more particularly in Kenya. For the first time acknowledging that he's actually the first Kenyan-American president. And I think that's what Kenyans have always claimed ownership of Obama. And I think that for him gave him the extraordinary treat that the people of Kenya did give him. But I think the security machinery that was put in place, collapsing this road, stopping the airspace, and many other things, I was told, yes, it's routine for Obama's travel, but it was a little out of the ordinary. So I think that also was an inconvenience, but Kenyans then decided to take that time out. But they listened and literally tracked all of his movements. I think the GS summit was fairly, in order in terms of the fact that the objectives that I thought would be achieved were achieved. A lot of pledges in terms of resources to particularly empower women and young people. So I think on the totality, there was a certain expectation that was met. They had the bilaterals with the Kenya government. He met with the civil society. He met with members of the political opposition, and he spoke to us. In fact, for me, I was more interested in what he was going to say, because most of the times the rhetoric reflects a part of the policies a country is trying to pursue.
All right. Senator Bilo, your take on the visit, did it meet your expectation after all the pomp and hype about it?
Yes, I think it was an epic visit. I actually had written in my column a couple of weeks ago that I downplayed. I didn't think much about Obama's trip, but I think his visit really surprised me. I think it was I was really impressed, very impressive speaking. And I think Kenyans, most of us, most Kenyans just discovering too late in its final term that we actually had a Kenyan, a true Kenyan in White House. But I don't think many Kenyans really thought so much about Obama until they had him speak in the last couple of days, and then just realized that we had a guy, we had a Kenyan.
Well, I think there was a lot of hype around it when he became president, but of course from his own admission, he didn't want to show like he was favoring Kenya.
I don't think that, well, of course he had to say that diplomatically, but I think the reason why he didn't come, I think, was known to everyone. They didn't think so much about that coalition government, and of course the way that coalition government came in, and this one also. So I think they have just, for Americans also, he's also just realized that he missed quite a lot, that he should have actually come. You can see from his speech that he really felt he should have come a long time ago, and so this thing about, I didn't want to play for, I think it's trying to apologize to Kenyans, but I think it was a great
so for you it delivered.
I think yes.
Okay, I'll come to you, Oglan. Do you agree with Senator Bilo that one of the reasons why he may not have come is possibly he didn't think much of the coalition government, and as a result maybe he's endorsing the current government?
That's not what I believe. One, I should say that in my view, Obama superseded my expectation. He was very natural, he was very authentic, and he was in touch with the problems and the issues that Kenyan people have. In his last visit as a senator, he spoke precisely about the same issues that he spoke about them today. So I don't think there was any endorsement that he was coming to make. I think he was just coming to Kenya, one, as a son of Kenya, who needed to have come home, and two, as a president of America, who needed to also have done his trips around the world. So I feel it was good that he came at this time, and he did what he needed to do.
Okay. Muriuki, and your general view of the whole weekend, right from Friday to his exit yesterday?
My view would be that this was a divine moment for both for Kenyans and for Obama himself. it's an epic moment. It's an endorsement for the Kenyan government by the Americans, most of Obama. Number two, I think it's also Obama needed to communicate to the world and tell them, look guys, I'm a Kenyan. And those were his exact words. So I believe for us, it has taken us, like he said, to that level in the world that we belong, we are a state, and we should steer things in the global world from this part of the world. So like somebody has said, it did actually define Kenyans, who we are, that we can go all the way to become even the president of America. So we can.